enormous surge in demand, are we going to have enough money for coupons and money for administration? Some months ago, the NTIA told Congress, no, we don't need any more money. Is that still the position, and will we have enough money? And a second, slightly unrelated question for the FCC. Just if you can tell us a little more about the call centers, and sort of the scope of it, how it's done. Is it outsourced? How many people? Just some details. We don't really know a whole lot about it in general. And what plans you have that plans to expand that for a possible surge around the 17th. Commissioner Adelstein said you might have 2 million people making phone calls based on the projection of the Wilmington numbers across the country. Is there a number of people you're preparing for, or just any more detail about the call centers you can give us? But first, maybe the
sure,
fundamental question, do you have the money?
Yeah, it's a good question. A couple things on that front. Number one, we have seen a significant increase in demand since early November. Again, we think that's a good thing. We want people, as you've heard across the board here, to apply early. We're seeing that happening. That's fantastic. You know, obviously every program has a cap in terms of its funding. Ours is around $1.5 billion. And so we're monitoring the situation very closely, and we're sharing the information we need to share in real time with the Hill. Because obviously it's the Hill that would need to make any changes in the program if they deem those necessary. And so, again, we are looking at this thing very carefully. Every day we look at the numbers, we look at what we need to be doing to make any adjustments in the program. We're conveying that information in real time all the time. The other twist on this program is, as most of you know, only about half of the coupons are actually being used. And so what that means is actually, once those coupons expire, that money comes back into the program, and so we can actually provide additional coupons to consumers. And so, for example, in November, we had about 5 million coupons that were requested. If redemption rates stay about where they've been, we would expect about half of that, about 2.5 million coupons, to come back into the program in February, and we can serve additional consumers due to the expiration of a lot of these coupons. And so that's the tricky thing about the program in terms of it's very dynamic. So the money we have today is being changed two ways. One, we're putting out coupons every day to consumers, but we're getting money back every day from expired coupons. And so again, we're looking at that very closely. But again, with 5 million coupons a month, 6 million a month, we know that in 3 months, about half of those are coming back. So that gives us more funding to put out additional requests for consumers.
As far as the call center, basically we took the information from Wilmington and we're still analyzing to see how best we should do this call center. We have a number of proposals available. We probably will have contracting out to allow more people to be on board for February, and at the point where we see it may dwindle, we'll accommodate it as we need to. But we do recognize that we will have a surge. We're getting ready for the surge. But as far as the amount of people or the amount of money, I can't say that for sure because I don't have that at this point.
Hi, I'm Amy Gotwals with the National Association of Area Agencies on Aging. And Tony mentioned earlier, one of the lucky recipients as part of our Keeping Seniors Connected coalition to receive some NTIA funds to work in now at least 41 communities doing this one-on-one assistance and assisting frail elders, homebound, and other underserved people in the aging network. And my colleague is here from one of our partner groups too, the National Center and Caucus on Black Age, so I just want to acknowledge him. First of all, sitting here after about over a year of working on this issue and thinking we're so close, there's still so much to be done and what will happen after. And I'm reassured by a lot of the positivity on the panel, and I know everyone up there has worked tremendously hard on this for a long time. One of the things that's fascinating, I think, about this as almost a national exercise has been the range of people involved in this. If anyone's not as familiar with this as the panel is, it's been from private industry to nonprofit groups who've sort of taken this on as a consumer challenge, federal government. Of course, Hill was driving this initially, and there's just so many different players that I'm fascinated by how many different sources people could have heard about this. The TV ads coming from every different direction, from different sources, both federal and their cable company or other people, and now, of course, in the one-on-one assistance to reach the folks who need the most help in transitioning, for whom some of those messages they resonate, but then it does not allow them to maybe take the steps they need to get action. We're seeing that focus here, and I'm so grateful to Denise to pulling this together, because these are the folks I think we have to make sure don't get left behind. All that to say, it's fantastic that people may have heard it, both at, they've heard it made at church, and from their, in the case of an elderly person, the transportation ride to the doctor, they've heard on television.